You all know that I do soccer and that I do these tournaments on the weekend. And this weekend was no different, except for one thing. I met this coach that I lost all respect for. We had to give him a red card this weekend, and it was because of what he did. And there's some offenses that you can give what they call a double yellow or a straight red card too. But that's not what I wanted to talk about, was him getting the red card. The thing that I wanted to talk about was the lack of respect the whole referee team lost for this gentleman, this man. And it's about being honest. Let me turn this off. It's our last game of the day. We have run 12 miles. We've burned about 3,500 active calories, another probably 2,000 non-active calories. So that's what, 6,000 calories that we've burned. We have had a sandwich that is probably not even 6 inches long. You get a sandwich that's about 4 inches long. You get some bags of chips. You'll get as much water as you want, and then you have to bring the rest. I bring out a tent, a cooler full of water. I try to stay hydrated, but now you're on your 6th game in the sun, a 5-minute break in between games, and you're ready to call this last game and go home. I happen to be a AR, which is an assistant referee. I am on opposite side of the sidelines with these coaches, and I run back and forth from the halfway mark, whatever size field that may be, to the end line where this goal is. That's my objective. And to assist with the center referee who is running diagonally or however, wherever the play goes, he's running that side of the field. There was a foul that happened, and there's 3 coaches on the opposite side of me, and they are starting to talk. Instead of coaching their players, they want to try to tell the referee what to do, and that is never going to work. Play is going on. We're about halfway through, and this coach decides that he wants to start barking to the center referee. The center referee warned him, hey, this isn't the time. We will talk about this if you want to at halftime, but, just stop. Just coach your kids, stop. This referee had this coach had a stopwatch. And he took that stopwatch and he threw it in the middle of the field. And then he runs onto the field and he retrieves the stopwatch and retreats off of the field. And you're not supposed to, while play is going on, you're not allowed on the field. Nobody, a parent, kid, dog, especially a coach. So he goes onto this field, comes back off, and the center referee stops play and goes over and tells him, hey, that's not going to work. That is a red card. You have to leave. Of course, he starts jaw-jacking because now he's embarrassed in front of his kids and the other 2 coaches that are there, which he should have just closed his mouth and just let play go on. But sometimes our egos, no matter what position we are, get the better of us. Sometimes we need to just learn to shut up, that we're not going to have the last word for everything, and that someone else is in charge. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the person who's in charge. Your job is to, if we're gonna go with soccer, your job is to position your players and play this chess game in order to overcome whatever objective that may be. If you feel it's unfair, that the referee is making unfair calls, you move your pieces accordingly to still try to win that game. And that is hard for a lot of men, especially. Now this plays into life itself as well. Sometimes we get caught up so much in our ego and being right, even though we know we're wrong. And when someone tells us and gives us sound advice on, hey, just look, listen, and learn, be quiet a little bit, we have a hard time with that. He gets sent off. He has to go to his car. So he moves away from the field where he's out of earshot and he's out of shouting distance. We do the second half, game ends. Now we have to call over director and the signer, which I'm one of the signers, and the gentleman who was the center, he's an assigner too. We have to call them over. We have to write up a whole report and grab a card. And now that another half an hour to 35 minutes has gone by, the coach is now remorseful, and he wants to take something back that he can't take back. So he comes over and he starts, hey, I'm really sorry. What I did was wrong. And I threw up my stopwatch and the wind took it and blew it onto the field. Now you're lying like a 10-year-old kid. And that's what upset me. You're supposed to be a role model for these kids. You know what you did. You know what a red card causes, but because we do not call BS on some things as referees and enforce the laws all the time, these coaches have gotten away with this. So after the game, the other two coaches come over, and the third coach, who got ejected, decided he wanted to come back and try to explain his situation so that now he can watch his kids on Sunday play this game. We're like, no, this is not happening. It's a red card. You're going to have to take that up with the director. So he says, oh, well, he starts bargaining now. And he tells the same story. I didn't mean to, I'm wrong, I threw up. I know I was wrong to lose my temper, but I threw up the stopwatch and it blew onto the field. And by now I've had enough. And I said, I'm calling BS. So I called him a liar basically, but I said, I'm calling BS. I stood there and I watched you throw that stopwatch on the field, go onto the field and retrieve it, and then come back. So why are you saying this? Because your kids are looking up to you. That was the problem that I have. What are you teaching these kids? You're in a position of authority over, let's say, 15, 16 young girls or boys. Is this the example that you want to set? Is this the legacy that you want remembered for everyone? Because we're going to see you, if you continue to coach, we're going to see you for years and we're going to remember you. And this is the same thing in life. Sometimes it was such a trivial thing, first off, to get mad about, and then second off, to lie about and have your kids hear this. Why not just tell your kids, I lost my temper, I threw a red card on the field, I have to pay for this. I don't want you guys to see Coach, whatever his name is, lie, and so I have to take my punishment. If I've done the crime, now I have to do the time. And I knew what was going to happen because these coaches know what's going to happen. But instead of doing that, he continues to lie, and then the other coaches co-sign for this BS. And I'm like, no, this is crazy. I've never seen a grown man blatantly, after getting a red card, lie about it. And now that you're caught, it wasn't that you did it. You weren't sorry that you did it. You weren't sorry about anything else until you were called out on your BS. Now you're sorry, and now you want to watch your kids. So he went and appealed, and they told him that he could watch his kids as a spectator, which is not supposed to happen. But that's what I've seen constantly go on in life. And most of the time, people are not sorry until they get caught. Then once you get caught, then you're sorry. But up until then you're bragging with your family and your friends and your coworkers about how you got away with something and how minor of a punishment is, and so you continue to do it. And these directors that are getting money, they're thinking about money and not necessarily holding people accountable for what they did. And you should be holding people accountable. I try to hold myself accountable and my actions accountable for mistakes that I've made, so that I don't end up in a place that I'm locked down 24 hours a day. I get to be told when I can use the bathroom, when I can shower, when I can brush my teeth, when I can get up, when I can eat. I like having these small freedoms. I may not have all the money in the world, but I like having, that is a huge freedom that we don't think about. And we think that these little lies are just small, but they're not. If you're gonna lie about that, what else are you gonna lie about? What does that say about your integrity? What does that say about you as a man? And when I really thought about that, it leads me to I just lost respect for that. If you're gonna lie about this small thing, what happens when something big comes up? Can your wife trust you? Can your kids trust you? Can you trust yourself? But sometimes we have grown up now where this consciousness is kind of in the back of our mind. Let me know what you think in the comments. He got the red card. Was it justified? Do you think that small lies sometimes add up to bigger lies? And if you lie about something small, will you lie about something big? But that's just the rant for the today. I ran total mileage over the weekend. I think I ran 25 miles. So I'm going home. I'm gonna have a steak and some salad. I'm gonna take a shower. I might have a little wine, and I'm gonna go to bed. So until next time, and you know there will be a next time, I'm out.